Have you ever wondered if the strange, unexplained shifts in your own body are not just stress, but a secret language? A quiet, cellular whisper that something monumental is approaching. If your sudden craving for deep rest, the subtle change in your posture, or that new sensitivity to light and sound feels less like a random occurrence and more like quiet, deliberate preparation. What if I told you that you are absolutely right? This is not your imagination. For the divine feminine on the twin flame path, the journey to union is not a passive waiting game played out in the heart and mind alone. It is a full-bodied, alchemical event, a sacred metamorphosis that writes its story directly onto your skin, your nerves, your very bones. We spend so much time analyzing the synchronicities, decoding the messages, and navigating the emotional whirlwind of this connection that we often miss the most profound evidence of its truth. The physical temple is being renovated, and this is far more than just glowing up. This is your body, in its infinite wisdom, upgrading its entire operating system to hold a frequency of love so intense, so divine, that your old vessel simply could not have contained it without short-circuiting. It's like trying to power an ancient village with a modern city's electrical grid. The wiring must change first. The aches, the cravings, the sudden need for silence, the way your energy seems to ebb and flow in mysterious tides. This is not chaos. This is sacred architecture. Your biology is collaborating with your destiny. So, let's set aside the external search for a moment and turn inward to the most honest map you possess. The changes you are experiencing are not symptoms of something gone awry, but rather the undeniable signatures of your soul's expansion, manifesting in the one place you can always feel it, right here in your own skin. And the most fascinating part? This transformation holds the key to understanding the entire journey in a way you may have never considered. You know that feeling, don't you? The one that isn't just in your heart or your mind, but deep in the marrow of your being. It's an ache in your shoulders that a massage can't quite reach. A flutter in your solar plexus when you think of him. A sensation so visceral it can literally buckle your knees. We're so quick to pathologize this, to call it anxiety, to label it as longing. But what if I told you this is not a symptom of something gone wrong? This is the sound of your body waking up. It's the beginning of the most profound renovation you will ever experience, the somatic surrender. For too long, you've been trying to heal your heart with your thoughts. You've journaled, you've affirmed, you've analyzed the patterns. And that work is vital, it's the scaffolding. But the real, gritty, alchemical work, it happens in the dark, silent spaces beneath the thinking mind, in the very tissue and fiber of you. Your body is not just a passenger on this journey. It is the ancient, wise library where every joy, every betrayal, every heartache since your first breath is stored. Not as stories, but as sensations, as holding patterns. That tightness in your throat, it's not just stress, it's 1,000 unsaid words, prayers whispered into a pillow, truths you swallowed for the sake of peace. That heaviness in your hips, it's not just from sitting too long, it's the weight of carrying everyone else's energy, the foundational burden of putting others first. This journey demands that you stop thinking your way into healing and start feeling your way out. Think of your nervous system as the most sophisticated but outdated security system. For years, maybe lifetimes, it's been calibrated to a world of perceived threat. The threat of abandonment, the threat of not being enough, the threat of this unbearable intensity. So it's been stuck on high alert, fight, flight, freeze, a constant low-grade hum of emergency. This twin flame connection, it's like a cosmic lightning strike that fries that old system. It has to. Because the love that is coming, the union that is possible, requires a vessel that operates on coherence, on safety, on flow, not on lockdown. So your body, in its divine intelligence, begins to purge. It's a cosmic scale spring cleaning, and honestly, it can feel messy. You might find yourself craving foods you never liked. That sudden, inexplicable need for bone broth or beets, or something grounding from the earth. Your sleep patterns might shift dramatically because the real work is happening in the dream time, in the delta waves where your soul does its best repairs. You might feel waves of heat, of cold, of energy moving through you for no medical reason. This is not an illness. It is an upgrade. You are shedding the old armor piece by piece. Each tear that rolls down your cheek without a story attached to it is literally washing out the chemical residue of old pain. Every time you allow yourself to tremble, to really shake with the intensity of it all, you are discharging trauma that your cognitive mind has long forgotten, but your cells have faithfully remembered. This is the surrender. It's not a passive giving up. It is an active, courageous allowing. It's saying to your body, I trust you. Do what you must. I will feel it all. It's trading the tight, controlled posture of a soldier for the soft, receptive posture of a goddess who knows her own sanctity. And the glow everyone talks about? It's the literal, physical emission of a nervous system that has finally found its way home to safety. It's the light that escapes when the walls come down. And the most fascinating part? As your body learns this new language of safety, it stops screaming and starts singing. It becomes a tuning fork calibrated to a sacred frequency. But that leads us to the next miracle, the one where you stop seeking a source of power outside of yourself and realize you've been the generator all along. You've felt it, that magnetic pull, an almost physical cord hooked into your sternum, tugging you across cities, through time zones, right into the quiet space he occupies in his own life. We call it a connection, a bond, and it is. But in the separation phase, it can feel less like a golden thread and more like an umbilical cord, and you're on the receiving end, feeling the pangs of a profound energetic hunger. You check your phone. You scan the cosmos for a sign. Your entire energetic system is oriented outward, like a satellite dish pointed at a distant, flickering star, and your power drains with every desperate signal you send. What if I told you that the most radical transformation your body will undergo is the severing of that external cord and the activation of your own internal power grid? This is the journey from energetic dependency to what I call energetic sovereignty. And it's the most rebellious, glorious thing you will ever do. Think about it. For so long, your worth, your peace, your very light felt contingent on his acknowledgement. His text was a sunrise, his silence an interminable night. Your body was a moon, reflecting the light of a sun that kept disappearing behind clouds. It's exhausting, isn't it? To be a refugee in your own energy field, always seeking asylum in someone else's attention. The transformation begins not when you stop loving him, but when you start loving you with the same ferocity and focus. It's a quiet internal coup d'etat. Your body, now clearing out the old trauma through that somatic surrender, starts to realize it's sitting on a gold mine. It's like you've been begging for pennies outside a mansion you already own. The shift is physiological. It's in the way you breathe now, deeper, fuller breaths that draw energy up from the earth instead of grasping for it on the horizon. It's in your posture. That slight hunch, the protective curve over your heart, begins to soften and open. Your spine becomes a sovereign pillar, not because you're standing defiantly, but because you're standing centrally in the unshakable truth of your own authority. You stop looking for him in crowds because you've finally found yourself in the mirror. And my goodness, what a magnificent discovery that is. This isn't about building walls. It's about generating your own wattage. You become your own sun. A sun doesn't beg for light from another star. It radiates from its own core process of nuclear fusion. So you start doing the things that cause your own inner fusion, the creative projects you abandoned, the walks in the forest that fill your cells with green, life-giving energy, the friendships that make you laugh until your stomach hurts. You are no longer a planet in a lonely orbit, waiting for a gravitational pull to give you purpose. You are the central celestial body in your own universe, and slowly, without even trying, you develop a gravitational field of your own. And here's the beautiful, paradoxical secret. This sovereignty, this magnificent self-containment, is the very thing that makes a healthy twin flame union possible. You stop being a hungry ghost and become a whole, radiant being. A magnet doesn't need to attract metal. It simply does, by its very nature. When you are whole, you don't need his love to complete you. You're capable of sharing your wholeness, and that is an entirely different kind of connection, one based on overflow, not deficit. The ache of longing is replaced by a warm, steady hum of anticipation, with a certainty that has sunk into your bones, that if and when union comes, it will be because you chose it, not because you needed it to survive. This is how your body prepares to hold the miracle. It's not by getting thinner, or younger, or more perfect by the world's standards. It's by becoming so electrically alive, so magnetically complete, that you become a sanctuary of one. And a sanctuary, by its very nature, is a place where miracles feel right at home. The final piece of the puzzle, understanding the sacred dialogue that begins when both sanctuaries are ready to open their doors. But that, my love, is a conversation for another day. So here you are. After all this talk of surrender and sovereignty, of melting and magnetism, you might be wondering what the destination looks like. Let me tell you a secret that will change everything. The transformation of your body, this sacred, messy, glorious upheaval, was never just a prerequisite for union. It was the entire point. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, didn't use this intense connection to give you a partner. It used it to give you back to yourself. The twin flame journey is quite possibly the most elaborate, divinely orchestrated mirror ever created, and the reflection you are finally seeing is not just a soulmate, but a soul fully realized. Think of it as an alchemical process. You started with the base metal of your old self, the one shaped by conditioning, by fear, by the desperate need for external validation. The fire of separation, the longing that felt like it might incinerate you, was the alchemist's furnace. And what has emerged from that crucible? Not a different person, but a purified one. A you that can hold profound emotional voltage without short-circuiting. A you that generates its own light so brilliantly that you no longer fear the dark. This isn't a waiting room. This is the main event. The love you've been cultivating for your twin has, through the strange mathematics of the spirit, become the love you now hold for the incredible being staring back at you in the mirror. And that, my dear, is a union that cannot be taken away. This journey rewires your very understanding of love. It moves from a force that seeks to complete to a power that seeks to celebrate. You are no longer a half circle searching for your missing piece. You are a vibrant, complete sphere, and the connection you now desire is not one of dependency, but of resonance. Two whole spheres orbiting a shared center of gravity, creating a harmony more beautiful than any single note could ever be. The fantasy of being completed by another dissolves, and in its place rises the miracle of being deeply, joyfully accompanied by an equal. And so, the physical changes, the new lightness in your step, the calm certainty in your gaze, the way you occupy space, not as an apology, but as a proclamation, these are not signals you are sending out to the universe to attract him. They are the evidence of a journey already completed. They are the landmarks of a home you have built within yourself. If your twin flame arrives in the physical realm, it will not be a rescue mission. It will be a coronation, a celebration of two sovereign beings who have each done their own work, who have each built their own sanctuaries, and who now choose to open the doors and create a cathedral. The path is not about reaching a finish line where a partner awaits with a prize. It is about becoming the kind of person for whom such a profound love is not a fantasy, but a natural, organic consequence of your own wholeness. You have not been preparing for him, you have been preparing for you. And this version of you, this alchemized, sovereign, radiant being, is capable of a love so deep and so free that it will redefine every aspect of your existence. The journey ahead is not one of longing, but of discovery. And the most exciting part? This new frequency you're holding, it has a way of rewriting reality itself. But that is a story for another day.